You might look at this mid-October scene on Astarte farm in Hadley, Massachusetts, and think that the season is over. But the life on this farm just keeps chugging along. If you look closely at this patch, you can see the first signs of a buckwheat cover crop. The seed was broadcast on top of a thick layer of shredded leaves that had been spread last fall on top of sheets of cardboard. The second shot shows the same patch after 2 additional weeks of growth. And despite the obvious delay in this year's first frost, we can still terminate this quick cover crop with our flail mower or a tarp. The action of the buckwheat roots in our soil, as well as the green contribution to the decomposing leaves, is well worth the additional effort. On the other side of the beetle bank in Field 1, Amelia's first cover crop of oats and field peas is continuing its strong growth. This patch will likely be flailed into a thick, green chopped mulch that will provide good weed control and excellent nutrition for the upcoming garlic crop. In this shot from late September inside High Tunnel 1, the tomatoes are still pumping out fruit, and another succession of lettuce is getting established. Just 2 weeks later, the scene has changed. Some chilly nights required shutting up the high tunnels to prevent the cold temperatures from damaging the tomato fruit. The heightened humidity from the tightly closed tunnels has allowed the foliar fungal diseases to explode, and even though the fruit is still in great shape, the vines are now on their way out. But even among the seeming devastation on the tomatoes, new life is getting established. A bed of cilantro and dill has been interplanted with the red perennial stone crop, and lettuce has been interplanted at the base of the waning tomatoes. While it can be shocking to see plants decline so rapidly, every crop has its season, and it is our job as farmers to anticipate the natural cycles and then to prepare and adapt. High Tunnel 2 has some more mature lettuce in its own bed, as well as the pole beans that were picked until the middle of October. High Tunnel 3 shows the alyssum and nasturtium continuing their support for pollinator and predator insects inside the tunnels. You can see another succession of young lettuce plants at the base of the trellis tomatoes. The pole beans have provided some needed shade for the lettuce on these unusually warm fall days. And way over on the west side of the tunnel is a bed of the last peppers still growing on the farm. Out in Field 2, Ellen has been trialing some innovative cover crop cocktails of mixed species. Here you can see winter rye and oilseed or Daikon radish that has been broadcast on an area that had been flail mowed and then tarped. Winter rye is known to have the effect of inhibiting other seeds from germinating, but in this case the rye and the radish seem to be coexisting perfectly. When we mix species to create a cover crop cocktail, we are looking for complementary top growth and root attributes. In this case, the quick sprouting, broad-leafed radish begins to provide soil coverage long before the emerging skinny rye can help very much. As they continue to grow, the relatively shallow-rooted rye crop will access nutrients from a different soil profile than that of the deep-rooted radish. Further down the field, there are 3 beds of daikon growing quickly to cover the whole surface of the bed. Some of these rows could be thinned out to provide a cash crop of radishes, while those that are left in the ground provide most of the benefits of a cover crop. Here is a quick shot that points out one of the downsides of using silage tarps. In this era of increasingly violent precipitation events, they can easily collect large amounts of water and become very difficult to move. The next shot, taken on the same day just 2 rows over, shows an occultation strip made out of ground cloth with 0 puddling. And down at the far end of the field, the mustard is coming on strong. We planted it as a planned bioremediation for the Phytophthora that got into our winter squash. We hope to see some flowers forming in the next month or so, because that will be a sign that its gas-producing potential is at its peak. You can also see the fall and winter spinach down here, and it has been mild enough this fall to begin some strong picking on that crop. While we do like to use the cover crop cocktail approach whenever possible, the old New England standard of straight winter rye remains a good solid choice. It can be seeded quite late in the season, it has documented weed suppressing abilities, and it will survive through amazingly harsh winter conditions. Those living roots help to keep the soil biology cooking through the long winter months, and for farms not blessed with our level topography, winter rye will help hold the soil in place. Lest anyone forget what a wet season we had in 2021, here's a shot of our normally dry farm road that has developed some serious mud holes. This is a good example of the effect that soil compaction has on a normally well-drained soil. This sloppy condition could be improved gradually by building up a thick layer of wood chips to spread out the vehicle weight at a considerably lower cost than gravel. Lastly, here is a shot of yours truly taking care of the farm compost. A lot of our crop residues are flail mowed and sheet composted right onto the production beds. Yet inevitably there is a large volume of spent plants from the high tunnels, there are trimmings and rejects from the wash house, and any diseased material like we had this year with the Phytophthora in the squash vines that need to be composted. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Catch you next time.